Chapter 3. Kate leaned over the toilet and retched. Her stomach heaved, emptying the contents that were her morning meal. Kate raised her head weakly as she stared at the pink bathroom. Morning sickness was in full swing for the new mother as Kate lifted a hand and pulled down the toilet level, washing away the bile. The sound was strangely soothing as she rose to her feet shakily before going to the sink. Kate washed her mouth, swishing water before spitting out acidic bile. Her eyes trailed up to see her reflection, shocked by her appearance. Had it been only 3 days ago she was packing away returned books to their proper shelves. She had been unwell all day, but her mind was still giddy at the prospect of seeing. Kate's hand fell to her stomach. She looked down, a sad smile crept at the corner of her lips. Nolan. What am I going to do? She thought as she stepped out of the bathroom, her mind numb with weariness and he was not the man she thought he was. Kate closed her eyes, which stung painfully as she stood in the narrow hallway. A knock made Kate jump, breaking her trance. Letting go of her middle, she walked toward the door and opened it. Mrs. Roth. Kate gasped. Camille stood on the other side of the door, her face expressionless. Still, her eyes shone as she took in Kate's disheveled appearance. What are you doing here? Kate's voice was meek as she stared at the powerful woman. May I come in? Camille spoke coolly. Why yes, of course. Kate opened the door, moving to the side to let Camille enter. Kate could not help noticing the sneer on her face as she looked around, taking in the small kitchen where she stood. Kate closed the door and walked forward. And may I help you? Kate asks. Camille looked at her before smirking. You look like you had a rough morning. She says, not kindly. Kate looked down at herself, her grey shirt was wrinkled and wet with water. Kate raised her head. I'm fine, she replies calmly. It's nothing I can't handle. Yes. Nothing beats carrying the child of an ex-lover who is married. Kate winced, looking down. Shame and betrayal warmed her sallow cheeks. Yes, Kate spoke. She lifted her head to face Camille, face ashen. Mrs. Roth, I'm so sorry for what happened. I never knew that Nolan, Mr. Roth, was married to you. I believed he was. Camille lifted a hand, and Kate fell silent. You seem to know a lot about my husband. No, ma'am, far from it. You call him Nolan, Camille replies, her expression darkening. But you didn't know his first name was Alan. This surprised Kate, seeing her expression. Camille smiled smugly. What else did he tell you? Did he tell you of his daughter, Esme? His pride and joy? Did he tell you he flew around the world while you were just a high schooler? She stepped forward, voice growing languid. Did Alan tell you he is the richest man in the state? Forbes ranked him top 10 multimillionaires in the U.S. Kate stared at her for a long time, shocked by her words. She looked down. No, Kate replies quietly. He never said that to me. All he told me was that he was a successful businessman. He told me of his hopes, dreams, and fears. She let out a shaky breath. His love. A pause. He really fooled you? Kate looked up to see a cruel smile on Camille's lovely face. Excuse me. Nolan is good at convincing people. It is why he is so liked. This town treats him the way he does because he can do it. He has this town in the palm of his hands and why he could string you along with his quote-unquote dreams, his fears. Camille adds snidely. Kate felt she was smacked in the face. I know what he told me. Nolan would never leave, he lied. He was single. Kate froze. He did, she agrees. And no amount of remorse can express how truly sorry I am for hurting you and your family, especially your child. As she said this, she placed a hand on her belly. No amount of apologizing can undo what I've done, but I am sorry, I truly am. I want to move past this. Just me and my child. Funny you should bring up children, Camille spoke as if Kate didn't voice her regret and shame. You see, we can't let this get out that you're pregnant with Nolan's child. This is a very provincial town, and gossip carries fast. As Camille said this, she went into her Louis Vuitton purse. I won't tell anyone, Mrs. Roth. This secret I wish to keep, that's good. We both agree on something. Other than the fact you're a homewrecker. Kate gaped at her, shocked. That's why I'm here. My husband takes pride in fine things, as do I. We don't want this mishap blotting our happy home, that is why. Camille laid a thick white envelope on the counter and slid it to Kate. What's this? Kate asks, picking it up with suspicion. Camille smiled without humor. That, my dear, is $17,000. Call it recompense. For the pain you've been through. Pain. Kate looked up, stunned by the money, even as confusion crossed her face. I'm not in pain, Mrs. Roth. I feel, but you will be. After the abortion. Kate froze. Why you want me to what? Camille looked at her. Well, you must know. You can't have his child. He already has one. Alan doesn't need stress with a mistress, much less a bastard. Camille prattled on, but it fell on deaf ears as the two words fell like stones in a hollow well. Kate stared at the rich, powerful beauty. No. She was powerful, but Kate didn't see her as beautiful. In her eyes, she was ugly. It's for the best, Camille continues. No one would know you're pregnant. It's still early. She eyed Kate's middle. Besides, everyone wins. Alan gets his family, I get my husband, and you can do whatever you do at your book job. Her face turned condescending. You want me to kill it? Kate's voice was low. Camille looked at her as if she was a foolish child. Oh, they don't feel a thing at this stage. But I will. Kate looked at her face, contorted with passion. I will feel every moment. That's what the money is for. It won't be easy, but you'll move on. You call my baby a mishap? Kate screamed. She stepped forward angrily. You think having his child is a blot on your empire? It's all about you, about Nolan's reputation. She glared at the woman with revulsion. I don't know what Nolan told you about me, and I don't care. But my baby, she clasped her middle. My child won't be killed for your wants, Camille. I won't do the procedure. Camille stared at the woman like a fly on the wall. Bothersome. Insignificant. You mean to tell me you'll have his child, she says, testing the words. Her hands clenched into a fist. Nolan doesn't want this baby. Neither do you, Kate's eyes narrowed, fist clenched. But it's not for you both to decide. It's mine. You would hurt my marriage for a fling. Camille's face twisted into something ugly. A so-called make-believe romance that you two shared your secrets, hopes, and dreams. Camille stepped forward. You are as pathetic as you are naive, she spoke menacingly. Because I know Nolan's dreams, his desires, his love. She hisses the word love. And it's not you. Kate glared at her. Get out, she commands. I want you out. Take your money. I won't be a part of your wicked ways. He shoved the money at her. Camille stepped back with a cruel smile. So be it then. Camille lifted her fist. And punched herself in the face. Kate gaped at the woman, who hit her face, dropping the envelope. Camille stepped back as she punched, slapped, and... What are you doing? Help! Camille screamed. Please, someone get her off me, she scratched her arm and slapped her face. Kate, stunned by this, leaped forward for Camille. Stop this! Kate screamed. Why are you? Camille cries. Boom! Kate turned at the sound of wood breaking. She gasped when she saw the Forest Bend sheriff step forward. Seeing the commotion, she was knocked back before Kate could pull away or explain herself. Kate felt her body shoved roughly to the corner, her arms pulled back, and she cried out with pain and shock. Voices echoed around her as Kate turned her head to see an officer go over to Camille, demanding what happened. Camille responded in broken accents. To Kate's shock, she saw her sobbing, pointing a trembling finger at. "She attacked me." Kate's world crumbled as she stared at what was happening around her, hearing the false statements of assault and the cruel, untrue words brought to her ears. Kate would have collapsed to her knees, but the brute strength of the officer holding her down wouldn't let her. Kate felt something cold and heavy on her wrist. She heard the click as it tightened her wrist. She knew what was happening. "No," she screamed. "You can't do this. She's lying." "I didn't." "You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can." The sheriff read out her rights. Still, it fell on deaf ears as she was carried out of her room, protesting her innocence while being led down the hall to onlookers who heard the commotion. They now looked at the woman being carried away in sobs, protesting in broken accents. "I'm pregnant." Kate was led outside to even more onlookers and bed and breakfast patrons. She saw with blurry eyes people, some of whom she once called friends, looked at her with shock while others started whispering amongst themselves. The door to the cruiser opened, and she pleaded to the unsympathetic officers one last time, but to no avail. "Duck your head," ordered the officer. Kate obeyed. She felt her body bend to fit comfortably into the cramped back. Kate lowered her head when the door was closed. She didn't look up when the officers entered the driver's side and started the car, nor did she look up when she felt the car's movement as it drove away from the inn. Kate threw up in her jail cell toilet as soon as she was brought inside. Her stomach heaved empty, causing her to dry heave so terribly with tremors that officers had to come in with a doctor to calm her. Kate was later given a pregnancy test and answered questions about her medical history. She responded with weary responses, her mind still unable to process that she was in prison for a crime she never committed. The doctor came back soon after and confirmed she was pregnant. When they asked who the father was, Kate begs to use the phone, stating, it was an emergency. It took hours, but she was given her phone call. Kate dialed the number she memorized in her head once she entered the jail. Her one salvation to all of this. "Hello." Kate's eyes welled up with tears when she heard his voice. "And Nolan," she gasped. Kate. "And Nolan. Why you have to help me?" There was a long pause. She could hear noises in the background. "WH, where are you?" "Nolan. Are you there?" "I'm here." His voice lowered. It was no longer surprising but a slow boil. "I'm at the hospital." "Hospital?" "Bebot WH," Kate remembered. "Oh, no." "What do you want, Kate?" he demands. Kate was surprised by the sharpness in his voice. "Can you hear I don't have time for this? I shouldn't be talking to you after what you've done." Kate was stricken. "Nolan," she spoke. "You have to believe me. I did nothing to your wife. Please, it's a misunder. She came to the inn and..." "I know. Camille told me everything." Nolan's voice grew hard. "She also said how you punched her in the face when she offered." "I didn't punch her." Kate screamed. "I don't know what she told you, but you have to believe me. I didn't do this. She said things about me and, so, you hit her. It's because of you. Camille needs stitches on her arm and, I didn't hurt her," she screamed. "Then who did?" "She did. Camille did this to her. Don't you dare say that about my wife." Nolan growled. "She would never do this to herself." "But she did, Nolan." Kate sobs. "I know you don't believe me, but you know me. I would never harm anyone without meaning to. But you did." You hurt my wife to get me. Nolan snarls. Just as I want to make things right with my family, you come attack the most important thing to me. Kate froze. Her eyes welled up with the words he once said about her as they lay in bed. Just two warm bodies alone, except for the millions of stars. Kate felt her heart shatter, even as her love for Nolan crumbled in her chest. Nolan, please, she breathes. I know you hate me. I'm sorry for what happened, but I need you. Your child needs you. I need help, they put me in jail. I don't have the money to make bail. I need you. A pause. Kate waited with bated breaths, listening to Nolan's breathing. Stay out of my life, Kate, he spoke, his voice hard, cut. You are never to call this number again. If you so much as come near my family or me, I'll have you jailed. Kate, desperate, pleads. Nolan, please don't do this. I love you. Goodbye, Kate. He says. Nolan. Nolan hung up. Kate screamed into the dead phone as tears spilled down her cheeks. Officers came to find Kate on the floor. They pulled Kate out of the hallway to her struggles until she was led back to her cell, where Kate collapsed in broken sobs onto the lumpy bed.